Today, I just wanted to start out a talk about saving money, starting a portfolio. I personally wasn't able to really start saving money until I started applying like a few key steps. They're really simple. And then once I was able to start saving money, I was able to start a portfolio, which adds a whole nother layer of impact to just the concept of saving money. And I just wanted to share these simple steps. They're really easy, but it's like hindsight is 2020. I didn't kind of really realize them going in, but they're just kind of to help you get started saving money and things that have personally worked for me. So we'll just jump right into it. None of this is financial advice. This is merely for entertainment and educational discussion. So, with that being said, feel free to discuss things that you're doing, things I'm talking about, things that you'd like me to talk about in the comments. So the first thing that you want to ask yourself is, what are you saving for? Is it just short-term goal, like buying a car, or is it like a more long-term goal, like buying a house, or setting yourself up for retirement, early retirement? Knowing these up front is going to help guide your investment strategy, where you decide to put your risk, where you decide to put different chunks of assets, or I shouldn't really say assets, but like your wealth. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up an investment account. So if you want to save money, any interest earning account will do. That's the first step, is to just kind of be able to start setting aside funds. So how do we do that? Well, logically, how do we save money? Well, logically, it just simply breaks down to, you are going to spend less money than you bring in. So you want the amount of money that you bring in over any given period of time to be more than you end up spending in that same amount of time. It's a very simple concept. It's a very, very simple concept. And everyone knows this. But when you understand it and when you put it to work is when you're able to start saving money consistently on a regular basis, or see opportunities to set bigger chunks of money aside into investments that are going to be able to pay off in the future, in the short term or the long term. So, all right. So before I get off track, just saving money, just getting in the habit of saving money. There's a few couple tips that I have for you, and these just personally work for me. The first thing that you'll want to do is you want to lower your cost of living. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to significantly, downgrade your lifestyle, but it does mean, first of all, and this is, I guess, step 0, is take a look at, like, do a financial assessment. Are you in debt? Do you already have a savings? Do you, just you need to start with a baseline reading of where are you at? And what I primarily mean is, are you in debt? If you have debt, whether that's student loan debt, personal debt, business debt, if it's eating into your ability to save, the first thing that you want to do, step 0, is eliminate that debt. That should be before going out to eat. That should, paying off your debt should be before you accrue more debt. That's the first rule. Don't go further into debt. But assuming that you are I'll make a whole another video on just the importance of literally getting out of debt as soon as possible. Like literally, if it's a huge amount of debt, still try to get it done under a year, under a couple years. If it's something astronomical like a student loan debt, I would need to educate myself on how people tackle that, because I personally never went that route. But things like personal debt, like if you have $5,000 in debt, you need to pay pay that off in a month's time. Pay that off in a couple months' time. Figure out how to be able to just pay that off. Maybe that's your savings goal, is to pay off your debt. It's so important. All right, I don't want to ramble too much about that. So that's just step 0. The first step is to lower your cost of living. This again, this doesn't mean astronomical changes, but take a look at your life. If you are spending way beyond your means, then you do need to adjust if you want to have this savings reality come to fruition. Because it's not going to happen if more money's going out than is coming in and you're racking up debt. So with that being said, make little adjustments to your lifestyle that you can afford to do. Don't, this doesn't mean never going out to eat, but this means, maybe you're door dashing 4 nights a week. Well, you should maybe try a week where you just do that two times a week and realize that you're pocketing $60, $70 or something like that, and see how that compound, $70, that's $280 a month that you'd be saving on 2 trips a week of DoorDash. So, looking at things like that, you realize, oh, okay, that's a way for me to save an extra $250 a month, without really, and then you learn a new skill like cooking at home, or maybe you try to find something around, where you have to go for a walk, or go to a different neighborhood and go to a restaurant that's a little more affordable than what that would have been. These are just creative ways for you to lower your cost of living. If you can afford it, and this is really a big goal of yours, make it a point that when you move into places that they aren't on the more expensive side. I've had years that I was able to save a lot of money, where I was fortunate I was able to stay in a living situation that was just very affordable. And because of that, I'm able to save a lot more money for that period of time. So this is the power of lowering your cost of living. Now, this also affords you the ability to, weather those times that you may be I've also recently been forced into an apartment that is a much higher cost of living than I'm used to, and then I can certainly afford. But right now we're doing okay because, we have that savings buffer. So this is kind of on the topic of having a savings buffer, which is important. I'll just say the one line importance is, you should have about 6 months ready to go in case you lose your job, in case you lose your apartment, in case something just kind of happens. You have capital ready to go, liquid cash ready to go. And maybe this is the first savings goal, getting that ready. And then the second savings goal would be, building your portfolio out. So now the second tip, after the first tip being lowering your cost of living, the second tip is to maximize your income, both your primary income and then also through side hustles. So this basically just means maximize your income. If you have a job that has a difference in pay based on your performance, try to max that out. If you're working in a sales job, especially if you're working in an environment that you're just kind of working this for a period of time, or maybe you're in an environment where you're not going to be doing this for years and years and years, but you have the option to hit it harder, like max yourself out. If you're a creative, if you're a freelancer, if you're working independently, try to max out your output. And then the second being side hustles. So don't just have one stream of income, have multiple streams of income. And then kind of always be evaluating how these different side hustles are fitting into the mix, because at any given week, a side hustle or a side opportunity could blossom into a main opportunity, and then all of a sudden you need to dedicate more time to that hustle. This is like the smart way that you would do a career change. Maybe you start familiarizing yourself with a new industry or a new career or even a new position, and you start letting yourself be open to the opportunities that it's presenting. And then all of a sudden, when that thing's ready to go and it's all primed and they got the position for you, or they got the opportunity or the job or the project for you, you're ready to just slide right in. And you can tell the opportunity that isn't making that, isn't has too much of an opportunity cost right now to pass up the other one. You could say, hey, I got to put this on the back. So that's why having multiple streams of income is important, not just for the sake of having multiple streams of income, but because for the diversity in like the work and the diversity in the ability to generate income. So, a harsh kind of clear example of this would be like having a source of income that is radically different from a different source of income, as in terms of like what needs to go into it. One of them, maybe it requires your time, your effort, and your labor. Another source of income might require your knowledge and your research, and then no time, effort, and labor. So what I'm talking about is like your day job versus like an investment portfolio and dividends that pay out. So one may be, and then you'll see that the portions of what that's contributing over a period of time, over like monthly, is gonna different. It's gonna swap eventually. You're eventually gonna want that day job, or I should say it this way: you're eventually gonna want the dividend returns and this research-based kind of investment returns to dwarf this laborious income that you have to put out working. So that's number 2. Maximize your income and then also through side hustles. And then the third thing, I'll just kind of keep this brief and wrap this up here. Maximize your savings rate. This basically just means tie the two together. So you're lowering your cost of living, you're shrinking the number of money going out from your wealth, and you're maximizing the amount of money that's coming in. This in turn is going to maximize the savings rate. The savings rate is basically that difference, the difference between what you're bringing in and what you're required to pay out in order to continue living. So that is at least the amount that you're able to save, and then the savings rate is just a division of that. So you want to maximize that savings rate. Some of my best maximized savings rate were like 80%, 90% of my take-home pay was going directly to savings. So that means that I really lowered my cost of living down to 10% of my maximized income. And I'm really trying to maximize that income, trying to find all these different side hustles that, maybe one week it's adding up to this much, but then the next week I'm growing it out and I'm able to now it's requiring, now I'm realizing, there's so much opportunity in this side hustle. I'm going to make this like number 2. Having these different opportunities are just kind of like little tools that you can use to kind of go back and forth. So these are just some of my tips. Those are 3 tips for you on just kind of things to start thinking about, getting you in the mindset, some of the psychology of saving money. This channel I'm starting just to kind of talk about saving money, investment portfolios, business strategies, e-commerce strategies, business profiles. I'm gonna be talking about different companies and success stories, failure stories, all different kinds of market strategies, investment strategies, opportunities, things like that. So if you guys enjoy the content, if you guys find value in this, definitely like the video, subscribe. I'm a new creator, but I have started channels like this before. I just didn't personally brand them out. I was just kind of doing it to pass time. So this is a new channel. We're gonna get things rolling here, and we're gonna do these daily. And feel free to subscribe, because we would love to build this out. Anyways, I just want to finish this off by saying none of this is financial advice, merely for entertainment, educational purposes. Thank you guys for giving me your time and attention. Let's build this out. Let's build a discussion around this. Talk to me about what are your financial goals, your savings goals, your incomes, your different income hustles, side hustles, main hustles. What are you doing right now to make money? What are you doing to save money? What are you saving money for?